I lie a lot on stage. I want to point that out. This is a very important part of my act. If I say some shit and you're like, I don't agree with that, guess what? I don't agree with it either. Right? There's a lot of things I say I don't really mean. I'll tell you the truth, but if a lie's funnier than the truth, I go with that. You know why? Because it's a fucking comedy show, all right? And that's what we're doing. Like, if it wasn't comedy, if it wasn't understood that I was joking around, most of my act would be a goddamn hate rally. Right?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Bob Man here, and I wanted to make a video, and I haven't made or responded to anything or anybody on the hair transplant forums for a very long time. I've just been doing my own thing, you know, and thought I'd pop back on, make a video, just because it's easy to do, and kind of showcase, you know, showcase the do. It's the same. It really hasn't changed at all since I've had it done back in 2004. So that being said, this is about, wow, just about 10 or 11 years now since I've had my first procedure, first hair transplant. And I had the first transplant was the front, and then I had the crown done, and then I had these temple points done later on down the line. I think it turned out pretty decent. I'm happy with it. You know, I'm happy that I was able to find a reputable place to get it done, and that's important. I think what I want to say is that anybody out there is going to be impressed with my hair. You're going to meet me and you're going to say, wow, it looks awesome, and that doesn't matter. What matters is that you get connected with the right fucking doctor. You get connected with the right fucking place that's going to have your needs in mind first. You, not theirs. And sometimes that's a fine line for a lot of people. Egos get in the way. See if I can raise this a little bit here with my mega memory thing, because I remembered to grab it. See, it already paid off. Alright, there you go. You're in my bedroom, by the way. It doesn't get more intimate than this. So, the thing is, if you don't have the right idea of what to expect and get your ego out of the way, don't think you're going to be perfect. This is not perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. I deal with whatever it is. It's not as dense as it used to be in high school. I have some weak areas. It's like, you know, if you were a bodybuilder, or if you were, even when you dress up, so you dress up the best features you have. And so it's the same thing. So you got to go in with a realistic expectation of what is going to come of it. And that's probably the biggest hurdle for not only the salespeople trying to talk to you, because, you know, now you have to add the element of money. You got to pay for the thing. How are you going to pay for it? And it's not cheap, and it's a vanity. You're not, you know, what are you going to do? And you have to have this conversation. It's not easy for a lot of people, because even though the professional understands the psychological reasons of what's happening here, based on, you know, if they're reputable like my place was, and they understood people really good, and they knew that this was a process. Even the decision is a process, and it might not be on everybody's timetable. That kind of perspective on this very intimate change was the reason why I went with the people I went with. So that's the stuff you have to do for yourself. My people aren't going to be around forever. All right? They're not going to be around forever. Nobody lives forever. All right? Maybe you get another, I'd say they could be, I think they could do another 10 years easy. I think, together. But, you know, it's like keeping a really good band together. You know, they just can only do it for so long. I got lucky. When I say that, I mean, I can look back now, understanding how to articulate what I'm doing, what I'm telling you to do. Back then, I was just lucky, because I just kind of naturally thought like that. And I just will happen to be in the right place at the right time financially. So it all worked out. And the financial part is usually the biggest hurdle for a lot of people. What I suggest is look at it from an investment perspective, but be reasonable. It's not going to be easy, and as far as for most people to gather that kind of cash, there's the line of, okay, so maybe I should only pay for what I can afford, or maybe I should only pay for as much surgery that I can afford, and now that's a problem, because now you're skewing your results for the almighty dollar because you don't have enough, and you're hoping maybe next time. And then you get a lot of those really bad places out there that just want to keep you coming back for more surgery after surgery. I knew going in myself that I was as bald as Dr. Phil. I say that, it's funny. I was bald as Dr. Phil, man, and Dr. Phil's bald. But I was like that. I was there, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, I can say that now because I feel confident with what I did, and I feel good about my results. But it's a neat way to contrast, I guess. That's why I say it. And they were able. I knew that I was going to go in for at least 2 for sure, at least 2, and 3 if I could afford it. And it worked out. It worked out really nice. I mean, I went in knowing. Well, actually, what happened was during that time in 2004, Futzy had did a like a multiple procedure type thing. Like within a year later, he had another procedure and so on. It was a mega session, and they were just starting out with mega sessions back then. It was really cool. It was cool for me because I was researching and getting excited because I was bald and I wanted to have hair. So what's cool was that Futzy had, for me and Joe Tronic, and a couple of other people, man, just a couple other people were really people I did a lot of research on, and I just would go to their sites, and I got really excited, and I watched them record their results as their hair was growing, and for me it offered possibility where I didn't have any possibilities before. So when I was researching it, those guys were kind of my go-to guys, just to see if it's possible. I guess if I could go back and talk to myself, I'd say, you know what, relax, man, and enjoy. I did everything I did. I'd do it again, man, because I enjoyed the entire journey. I remember sitting in the surgical office back in 2004, and I'm in Canada. I just met the dude I've been like watching on the internet for a year and shit in person, and it was cool, and I was just soaking it all in and going, wow, this is gonna go by fast. And look, here we are, man, what, 10, 11 years later. Wow, what a journey, hey? And it's been a lot of fun, and it's given me kind of like a do-over with that part. And I was void of hair for about 15 years because I lost my hair really early in my 20s. So when they did a hair transplant on me, it was a procedure where I knew, because of Futzy having one pass over, and then he had another one done, and it added density to it. It was pretty cool. I decided I want you to focus just on here, right here, just the front, 4,849 grafts, and pack it all in. Start pack it in from the front and go back, and that was exciting by itself. I remember sitting there watching TV and stuff. These girls were working on me for a long time, and I'm like, yeah, can I go to the bathroom? Like, yeah. So I went to the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror, because you're gonna look in the mirror, and all they had done was just the hairline along the way, about ½ inch in. And I was like, I thought I'd be fucking done, man. I went into the bathroom, I thought I'd be done. And I wasn't done. I was like, but what it told me was, wow, these guys are really doing a professional AAA job here. And all that time spent on such detail really pays off in the end. And these guys had a system. They still have a system. They got the system down, man. And they got a really great, and it's gonna end one day, So I'm hoping my information helps you, use the power of discernment. Try to surround yourself with some real honest people if you can. And that's where luck came into play for me. But with the internet today versus back in 2004, we're a lot more connected because of Facebook and YouTube and things of that nature. So definitely practice discernment, gather your men, make your decisions on your army, and then move forward, and take action. I think that's probably the biggest key right there is after you've looked at the money and you're good there and you've planned it out. Like for me, I planned to put everything in the front, come back in 9 months, do the crown, and then it just happened that, I just wanted to get something done here because this was going backwards, and I had them rebuild that. I had them rebuild. In fact, if you see pictures of me when I was younger, I never had temples. Anyway, I never had temples. So this is a new feature on my face. I created a brand new dimension of myself. We did that. I never had this before. Now I have a different dimension of my personality because I got temple points, bitch. And it's not a lot, 691 grafts. Yeah, but it's what I'm trying to say is, get yourself a good. A lot of people on these forums sometimes, all you hear is bitch, 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 or marketing manipulating things. I actually pulled down one of my profiles on a forum. I don't know what forum it was. I forget. I don't even know where this is gonna fucking end up. But I pulled it down, man. I pulled my profile down. The guy was a dick. I was trying to help somebody out in another place, and I didn't know how to. But I didn't know how to do this stuff, internet stuff. I mean, I was just learning at the time. It was a few years ago or so, and I decided, you know what? You don't deserve to have me on your forum if you're gonna treat a human being like that. So I'm done. You're done. Boop. Delete. I'm out of here. And I could give a shit. It was really too bad because it had a really nice photo profile of everything of mine, but it is what it is, and that's where that is. What else can I say? Fucking gather your people that you can trust. That's a tough one. But it can be done, and it can be done rather easily if you're an honest about your efforts. The universe will open up and help you to get what you want, but you got to be true and you got to be honest. And hindsight being 2020, I wouldn't change a fucking thing I did. It was the best time of my life. Everybody I've met and all the journeys and all the people, still to this day, sometimes out of the blue, someone will be like, "Hey, can I meet you? Can I see what's going on with this?" Odd, but it happens. And I can understand it. It's a big deal, man. You're changing your, a lot of actors and people in that public eye, when they fuck it up, everybody sees it, and then they got to get past themselves, this ego thing, and that's sometimes a great transformation. Maybe that fatal thing you just did with your freaking whatever, lips or bra or breast or whatever you did wrong that got fucked up, that you didn't do professionally or right, you accept and you move on and you get better as a person, and that's important. But a lot of people out there, are afraid to do it because of what other people will think about them if they do the thing. And I say, fuck them, because they aren't going to remember anything anyway. You think they pay that much fucking attention to you? They don't. And if you think they do, you have a pretty big opinion of yourself. They don't. You wish they did. You want them to. You really do want them to care that fucking much, but they don't. They don't care that much. Fact. So love yourself more and just do it and get something done. I think that's a big thing. Get your finances, get your game plan, take action. Don't end up like a friend of mine, an acquaintance. I have very few friends. I can count them on one hand, and it's about 2 fingers. You're lucky if you can do that in life. But I know it's acquaintance, and you never pull the fucking trigger, you're never gonna get it done. And you keep looking for the right perfect thing to happen. There is no perfect time. We don't make the right decisions every time. We make a decision, and then we make the decision right. That's it. It's poetic, but it's true. Anyway, I wanted to pop on here because I wanted you guys to get a little bit of me, where I've been, what I've been doing. You know, I can shamelessly plug my blog, I guess. You know, I created a couple of digital products on there, and I got my t-shirt business that's doing that. I was in New York a couple times on the Today Show for my car rental thing, so that was that. What else? Yeah, you know, just I'm making magic happen. You know, you got my Facebook. Where else? Here on these forums, I guess. And yeah, you know, if you have any questions, you're not going to find me here. You're probably going to find me on one of those platforms I just showed you. So if you go on some of those platforms, you want to connect with me, awesome. You know, and if you like what you see and you want to share it with other people, please do. Because everything I say and create comes from the heart. And I think that once you can make that connection, there's something else that happens within people that that can only be described sometimes as a personal miracle. So everything I say comes from the heart. If you have any questions in regards to hair transplants and whatnot, man, I can point you in the right direction, or I can tell you where to get the information. You know, I'll help you out, whatever you need. Just shoot me a message, find me somewhere, and we'll go from there. All right? And I hope this finds everybody well, and you guys take care of yourself. Peace.